Hey there, Nancy Drew Clue Crew. My name is Michael Gray, and today I am playing Nancy Drew, Mobile Mysteries Shadow Ranch. In this video, I am going to get all these collectibles. Now, I just finished Chapter 1, and during Chapter 1, I got a bunch of collectibles. These collectibles are actually mini-games, so let's play these mini-games. Here's one for each of the collectibles. It's a pretty simple mini-game. Basically, you want to spell words. You guys know how to spell words, right? I hope you do. So let's spell out the word oars. No, not aura. Oars. No, not org. Oars. And then R's. And what's another word? Guar. Whoa, guar is a word? Guar. Yeah, it sounds like a monster word. Let's do sunflower. Sunflower. Okay, let's go with flower and flows and sower and then flower. Alright, sunflower. Next one, Chief the dog. Chief the dog. This looks a bit more difficult. Four-letter word. Dote. Thief. And chief. Yes! Simple! Alright, this is nice and simple. Okay, tin star. Tin star. Star. That's sort of obvious. Gnats? No? How about knits? Yes. And rats. And, tins? Like more than one tin? Yes. And start. The opposite of finish. Coco Kringle. Yes, Kringle. King. Ring. Girl. And grin. Alright. Two more. Scorpion. Scorpion. Pion? Wow. That's a word? Like popcorn. Delicious. Icon. Five-letter word. Scory. Scoro. Spoon. Spoon, like the utensil. Alright, glowing scorpion. And final one, cottontail, right? Cottontail. Three four-letter words. Oh, simple. Tail. Coon, like raccoon. And, nail. Like a hammer and a nail. Wow, simple. Great, great. So, when you solve all 7 of the collectible challenges, you get a bonus mini-mystery. The 10,000 Peso Solution. This is a special mini-mystery, as I said. You can try to solve the mystery. I'm going to read the mystery out loud to you right now. The 10,000 Peso Solution. One chilly evening, Uncle Ed starts a fire in the living room's adobe fireplace and invites each guest to tell a story from the Old West. After a string of stories about gunfights, horse thieving, and sheep stealing, Tex strides up to the mantel and begins his tale. Not many people know this, he whispers in his raspy voice, but one of the biggest gold robberies in the West took place not far from Shadow Ranch. It was on a cold February night in 1871 that Snake-Eyed Sal robbed a bank wagon transporting over 10,000 Mexican pesos, just like this one here. The old ranch hand holds up a large coin that glints in the light of the fireplace. He flips it up into the air, and it lands flat on the palm of his hand. Now, Snake-Eyed Sal was the vilest, meanest, rottenest bandit to prowl these parts. He was so mean no other outlaw could stand his cruelty, so he worked alone. How did he rob the wagon if he was all alone? One of the guests interrupts. Tex leans forward with a sly smile. Old Snake-Eyed Sal was as crafty as he was mean. He dug a hole in the trail that the wagon trains used. Gold wagons back then had to drive as fast as possible to keep the bandits at bay. But in the darkness of the desert, the driver couldn't have seen the trap in time as he was speeding down the trail. Soon as the wagon crashed into the hole, Snake-Eyed Sal picked off the guards one by one, but he spared the driver his life. Sal always left a witness to tell of his dastardly deeds. Then, as soon as he loaded up the gold on his coal-black Mustang, Sal was never heard from again. Bess shivers. I'm glad there's no more Snake-Eyed Sals around here anymore. I wonder what he did with all those pesos. Easy, Nancy said. He split them up with the driver. All the guests look at Nancy with curiosity. It had to be an inside job, she explains. How does Nancy know? How does Nancy know? Have you guys solved this mystery? How does Nancy know that Snake-Eyed Sal was actually working with the, who was that guy? The bank driver, the driver. Sal was working with the person who was transporting these pesos. How did Nancy know that? Think it over if you haven't solved it yet. Here's the solution. So, let's see if your solution is as good as Nancy's. Tex motions to Nancy to take his place to explain her solution. The first thing that tipped me off was the coach was traveling at night, she starts. It seems awfully risky, and it would have been better to stop and keep a watch out. The driver probably convinced the guard somehow to drive at night, and if he was a good driver, he wouldn't have been speeding on a road in the dark. Tex clears his throat. Well, that doesn't prove anything. Maybe they were late and had to make up time. Maybe, Nancy replies, but there's no way Snake-Eyed Sal could have loaded 10,000 pesos onto his horse all by himself. That'd be at least 600 pounds of gold. My guess is that the driver and Sal planned to rob the train together. They probably hid the pesos nearby the crash site and retrieved them afterwards. The guests give Nancy a rousing round of applause, and Mr. Tex presses his peso into her hand. Here, Nancy, a small token for solving a centuries-old mystery. Okay, so that is the 10,000 peso solution, and you could have picked the other option, which was reread the story with the clues highlighted, and it sort of highlights the major clues, like the 10,000 pesos, which are large coins, and all the gold on the coal-black Mustang in the middle of the night. So those are the clues, which sort of help you solve the mystery. And that is it. That is it for the 10,000 peso solution.